Yeah, big welcome to you, my dear Libra. Today, Sun in Taurus, Moon in your sign. Both of them are ruled by Venus, and Venus is beauty, money, relationship, the feminine, that gives birth to all creation, right? He is the seed and she is the egg. She is the one that then creates out of the darkness into the light all creations. Taurus ruled by Venus and you ruled by Venus. So there's a harmony, there is a moment that you feel maybe grounded, more grounded than usual because you are very much an air sign. And you want to understand that life, even though you balance it out, needs a partner, needs an opposite, so that you can know that you exist. Because he's the second house of self-worth, worth in general, and you are the seventh house of partner. And you need a partner, and so Taurus is today, your partner is giving you the light so that your moon can shine. And we're going to the waxing moon, right? And we have now a full moon in Scorpio on Friday, and Scorpio is opposite of Taurus. The yoga position for Taurus is a movement. He's the pillar himself, the right and the left pillar. He's both schools, he's up and down. And so this is what I created for Taurus, and for you, the squatting with the hands in Namaste in front, and knowing that you hold yourself in your own balance with the sword pointing to the third eye, the sun behind it, right? So just that you know that this is very powerful. Within you, you're holding your equilibrium. The court card for you is the Queen of Swords. If your birthday is between September 12 and October 12, this is your court card. She's facing the right spinning path and leads with her left hand forward. Today you get a right spinning path because last time you had the full moon, right? Aries Sun was highlighting your full moon. And that was a left spinning reading that I did with all 22 major arcanas. I do that connected with the earth because the earth does two spins, one to the right, one to the left. The one to the right, we know day and night, right? 24 hours it spins. So these are the daily readings that I do to the right. These are human readings, and on your full moon you get a soul reading, which is to the left, and that's connected with the earth's wobble, which lasts 25,800 years, which then we divide through the 12 zodiac signs and we get an age. Currently we go from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius, and that is an air sign like you. So you feel that more than other signs because Aquarius is an air sign. Last time when you had your full moon, right? This full moon 888 portal is rising you to a new level of interaction. When I separate a word, it's because I like to highlight the word action there as well. So I like to play a little bit with the words. And yeah, Aries is opposite of you, right? Is giving you that push to learn and to grow the most. Because it's like, it's literally opposite. And it's like, oh my God, it's like really black and white, right? So how can black understand white, and how can white understand black? That's where the gray zone comes in, and you can see that both of them have two gray pillars that they're sitting inside and they have the color red. That's the action here. So I think it's important for you to start taking action. That's what I feel when I just look at these two cards from Sun and Moon. Good. So let's see what the soul wants to tell you so that you as a human can live this life in its most beautiful way. On the position of the Fool, we see how the Fool is facing the left spinning path, so that's a soul feeling. Comes the 10 of coins, and the 10 of coins is Mercury in Virgo. So this is a lot of money. You can see 5, 5, 2 times the 5 in a row, and you maybe have in your mind right now, how am I gonna make money? And not just a little bit of money, but a lot of money. You're thinking about to make a lot of money. So your soul is giving you that feeling right now to look at these two pillars, which are the two pillars that frame you. And 2 times 5 is a 10, right? And of course, the Fool is a 0, and the 10 is a 1 and a 0. And what's really interesting with a lot of money is that lots of zeros is nothing. But if you put one number in front of a lot of zeros, that's a lot of money. Just that you get that feeling, right? So 1 million has then all these zeros, but only one number in the front. Without that number, it wouldn't be a million. And if you just have a lot of zeros, so you go from 0 to 10, and so that's 1 0, but the 10 is quite a lot of money. Then comes on the position of the Magician, taming the wind, the 55. Now what's really interesting is that here you have a 5 and a 5 and a 5 and a 5. But it's, of course, it's a 10, and the 2 5s can also be a 10, but I treat it like a portal. And this is a portal as well. And so the Magician, the inspiration in your head, in your mind, is saying, okay, if you want a lot of money, then you need to tame the wind. You need to tame the way you think. You need to tame your thoughts. And this is what the inspiration then brings to you through the Magician. You gotta learn really to understand that the Fool is that foolish idea, but that's how it starts. He lets himself fall, and you understand now all of a sudden these two pillars that you're able to sit in between is the duality. And the 5 is always the test, and the 5 comes here through Taurus. Taurus has 2 pillars as well. So there is a 5 and a 5 and a 5 and a 5 and a 5. So in a way, it's already here like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times the 5. I mean, this is like empowerment in the 5 senses, right? The 5 fingers. It's this, yeah, I understand that the number 5 is the throat chakra, and this is where Taurus speaks from. Taurus learns everything, and that's why it's a movement, because Taurus gets the information up here and brings it down to the people in this 5-pointed star. So, yes, you will make a lot of money, but you have to learn to really focus. And you sometimes can be quite unfocused. And the taming the wind is the invitation to connect with Great Spirit and let him know what it is that you want. Because on the position of the High Priestess comes the 10, comes the number 10, the Wheel of Fortune. And here it's called Lord of the Forces of Life. And the forces of life is the duality. Here again we have 2 pillars, the black and the white. And of course, with you, you have now 2 gray pillars, and so does the Hierophant have 2 gray pillars. It's not anymore this, oh, it's extreme black and it's extreme white. Now there is a gray zone, and in that gray zone, when we come more and more in the center, we can recognize how important it is to see that duality can be seen in the center in a different way. And so, of course, the forces of life through the Wheel of Fortune is literally saying, okay, here you are, bringing through your intuition the new information, and you're looking at it like you're mesmerized, like you are studying now this pattern like a mandala, right? And the mandala is that focus, doing something that creates a deep focus in your brain. And in that focus, however we focus, any science is a deep focus, and then the plants speak to you. And that's where we then get the information. And so you are invited to really be focused, because now you have a 10-10 portal framing the 5-5. Very strong, very clear, very powerful message here. If you want to make money, you got to notice that this pattern is happening, and you got to notice that this can also be gone. So then on the position of the Empress comes the Age of Aquarius. And the Age of Aquarius is this beautiful goddess sitting here giving water to water and water to earth. And she has the 8-pointed star above her. And the Empress is the one that gives form, because the triangle is the first form that we can literally be like, oh, okay, there is now not just a dot or a line, there is now a triangle. And that's why then the hexagram with the triangle pointing up and the triangle pointing down is such a powerful image, because it's the masculine and the feminine crossing each other, interacting with each other, creating the next generation. And so you have the 1, which is then here through the Magician, the taming the wind. And you have the 7, which is the Chariot, which is the success, but also it can be a weak point in the Kabbalistic tree of life. And you see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stars. And you have 3 that are blue, and you have 4 that are yellow. So here there is a square, and there is a triangle, and you can create a triangle like this that's pointing up. But you can also create a triangle that's pointing down, right? So there is a little bit of the hexagram in here. And as you can see, she's really beautiful. She's like naked. She's like, I am however I am. I am natural. I am here in this world, and I just want to bring hope and love to this world, because I'm a star and I have no title. And this is really important, because the title of this masculine and feminine energy is important in this dimension, but in the other dimension we don't need any title anymore. And so there is one word that I can think of that has no title, and that's the word love, right? So sometimes you say, hi love. You can say it to a man, to a woman. And so here you are reconnecting to a very innocent way through the Empress, right? You are bringing this form into the world. And then comes on the position of the Hierophant, the 2 of Wands, which is Mars in Aries. And this 2 of Wands is letting you know that you are planning to create something new, because Taurus has inspired you, because Taurus is saying, yeah, there are 2 lines of 5, there's 2 wands, there are 2 cups or 2 pitchers, there are 2 5s, and of course in the wheel there's the up and the down and the right and the left. There is a cross, there's 2 lines crossing each other. So the 2 is duality. The 2 is creating with someone else, with your opposite, the new 1 or the 3, right? Out of 2 we get the 3. And so Taurus is letting you know, so create, act, like in the last reading, right? This full moon portal is rising you to a new level of interaction. And now Taurus is saying, who actually sits here, and I made him a movement, act, do, right? When you act and do, then things are happening. Sometimes you fall into the trap of thinking too much. So, and he's looking at her, and he's literally like bringing now to the 2 pitchers, which is water, which is feminine, the 2 wands, which is masculine, which is fire. And together there is then something that can be created, that can happen. Because on the position of the Queen of Swords, which is in the center of those 9 cards, right? The 10 of Pentacles is outside, because the Fool, the 0, is outside of the 9 cards. And so here, as you can see, comes the Ace of Pentacles. And here you have 1, 2, 3, 4 roses, and 4 is Aries. And so he's holding 1 wand, and he's looking into the left spinning path, where he's looking at the age of Aquarius. And he's recognizing a new age is coming. But if he wants to bring the inspiration of the age of Aquarius to the people, he needs to turn around, grab this wand, and you see that the finger is pointing to the world, and bring this new money to the people. And you are pointing then in this direction with your hand, like he points with his finger, and she points almost with her finger forward. Let's do new money. And of course now we have 11 coins, which is a 1-1 portal. And this looks like a 1-1-2, but it's the 2, but you see it's the Roman number, so it's looking also like 2 rows. It's like this 2 is literally speaking to you. The duality is speaking to you, and that's what we gotta learn to overcome, to come into the center, because here you have a 5-5, and then you have here the 10 again, right? And then you have here the 8. The 17 creates an 8. And the 8 has 2 loops, and it's a circle that's twisted in the center. But it's 2 circles, right? And so you are literally being called to create new money. And the 4 roses here are saying, yes, that's Aries, taking action. Aries is like, you have this idea, and you have the wings, and you have the cross. I mean, this is filled with symbolism. It's incredible. And you have 12 rays, and you have the crossing. It's powerful what's happening here. So you bring new money to the people. You are getting this idea, you're getting that thought, I gotta bring new money to the people. And then on the position of justice, this is very beautiful, comes the 9s. Then you see how this coin here in the center has now created 8 more. And that's exactly the 8 here. It's so amazing. And again, it's a row, and in the center an energy that says when you're in your center, you can see how everything grows from that one seed. From the 1 and the 7, you get the 8 star. Right? I mean, it's like, wow, how beautiful the mysticism here. And it's like, this is you as a queen, and now it's here, and you are able to delegate, and you're able to balance everything out, and you're able to come into your center, and you see the clarity in the material world as well, not just in the thinking world, but in the material world. And then, of course, we calculate now all of them together. It's a 20. So you have 10, 11, and 9 is 20. 20 coins, which is the last judgment, which is like, yes, you have a lot of money. The 2 and the 0. Intuitive, you know you have a lot of money. And you have to learn at the same time to let go and let the universe bring it to you. And if you don't let go, you might get attached to it. But here you have this like seed. And this seed, look how it's multiplying into the infinite 8. So you maybe had a lot of money. And now you're learning to work and to create new money, because last time that full moon has pushed you to the 888 portal. 3 times 8 is power in being the star, and the star is coming here again. So there's an 8 with these 8, and of course she is looking at all of this. She's looking at this, or she's actually now, is it? And so now she can look at this, and she's like, yes, I know I have this, because this made me realize, the soul made me realize that I have always money. Because it's a state of consciousness money. It's a state of consciousness the way I think. That's why I tame the wind, and I honor the element wind, which moves in space, which is the 5th element. And I know everything is spinning and coming and going. And I know the new age is bringing new things, new opportunities. And yes, I see that. I see the age of Aquarius, and I'm planning a new future. And then it just needs to turn around, because then you grab that 1 wand, and you make out of that 1 wand, you make now 9 more, and you have again here 10. So you're making again the same amount of money that you had here. Wow. It's crazy, right? Sometimes I make, oh, okay. And then comes on the position of the moon, which is the longing, and which is of course on your position, the 11, the deep quiet. And so you are called to really meditate. You are called to evolve, because that's what this card is saying. Evolve out of the water onto land, and from land up into the air. And where are we going? We're going up into the air. We're going up into the age of Aquarius. And you are here having a 9/11, which is quite an interesting date for the United States, right? The 9/11. So, yes, you have to become powerful by going deep within. The 9 is the completion. The 9 is letting you know that you have found Venus in Virgo. You have found through this one energy, again a 9, And so that's why you have a 10-10 in a way portal. Again, with the other 10 of the Lord of the Forces of Life, right? The Wheel of Fortune, a 10, 10, 10. So beautiful, right? And so there is something with Virgo. There is a Virgo in your life and an Aquarius in your life. And because in the stillness, right, here, the taming the wind is that stillness, is taming the wind, is really taming the wind, is taming your thoughts, is taming how you think and how you create out of nothing something. And you have created out of nothing something. And then comes on the position of the Sun, the air element, which is you, the horses. And you have this little child sitting on a horse, and you have all these horses going forward into the right spinning, into the human path. And so you have an 11, 22. And of course, this is also a 10, right? The Sun. And so in the position of the Moon, which is on your place, comes the 9, 11. And on the position of the Sun comes here the 2, 2, 2. 3 times the 2, which is powerful in creating new worlds by understanding the left and the right, by understanding that you have always the soul and you always have the human side, and you need to learn to be good in both sides. And so here you pushing yourself forward, and you are literally realizing now you are taming but also moving forward mentally. Allow the horse to create what it wants to create, because yes, we can be still, but then we also need to be active, and we need to allow the thoughts to come, because some thoughts are very important, very powerful. And that's what is speaking here. This thought here is saying, yes, create a new world. You hold it in your hand and you're looking out there. So you have a 9, 11 here, and you have 3 times the 2 here. And then comes on the position of the world, the 9 of Swords, and that's Mars in Gemini. And that's the next reading, right? That's where the Sun is in Gemini, but here it's Mars. And of course, you also have Mars in Aries. So Mars in Aries is like letting you know, dominate, create, command with your mind, command even the horses. But also be careful, because at night you might have sleepless nights because you have too many thoughts, and this is where you feel this, the movement. You have a lot of movement, and that's why taming the wind is coming to you. Is saying, well, look at this. Offer your energy to the highest good. Offer your energy always to the one sword in your hand, which she's almost holding a sword that is creating fire, and here she's lying in the clouds sleeping. And it's really beautiful, because usually the 9 is like this nightmarish feeling at night, sometimes too many thoughts and you don't know how to handle it. And you know that this one sword, this one bird, this one thought is what is important. And now when I put the 10 here, right, we go from 9 to 10. And it's like, yes, you are recognizing with the 9 that the completion within you is important. That when you find a peacefulness deep within you, then you can reach to the 10. Otherwise, the 10 is not solid, right? It's like that's why the sword is coming. The 9 of Swords is coming. It's literally saying, okay, now you got to really work it, right? Because you have that one sword. You got to work it. And the 9 again comes here with this 9. So you have a 9-9 portal with the 22 inside, right? So you're framing. And if you come into this groundedness through Taurus, Taurus is like, okay, boom, here I am, right? If you come in this groundedness, then you can overcome this. And interesting, so here is then the quiet right in between the 11. And at one point you had 11 coins, right? So you had 11 coins until the point of this. He is looking at this, at the infinite potential that the Age of Aquarius is bringing. And then all you need to do is bring this now into the world. How are you going to do that? By being quiet. Because this is, of course, an 11, but it could look like 2, right? Ones, or like 2 lines, like the Roman number. By being quiet, that's how you connect with this. And you can create then more. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times the 1. Five times the 1, which is Taurus. 5 times the seed, and of course the 2 lines of the 5s and the 55. I mean, it's like you see what's happening here, right? These numbers are literally like pushing you to awaken to the potential and use the mind in a direction of not destroying yourself, but really focusing on that one. Focusing always on that one thought. Really important that you not go too far. That you understand, and here comes again the 10, the money. To hold the money, you need to be focused and bring everything into fruition, right? Because, I mean, this is where the mind brings you then towards this wand, and that makes you then see that you're holding this powerful 1 coin in your hand, and then you get again 9. Out of this 1 you have 9, and it makes immediately a 10. So you're making that money again, but you need to really be focused. You need to tame the wind. You need to tame this, and you need to control this. But I think you know how, right? By understanding how this world functions, by understanding that you empower yourself. Wow. What a reading. I mean, sometimes it's like I don't see it until it's here. I hope I see you in the next reading. The Gemini energy is already here. Gemini is telling you to focus, and to focus. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.